Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. A few moments ago, the emotional leader of the Chiefs defense, Eric Berry, making his way out of the tunnel. He and his mates will get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
This is Jalen Richard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. And let's check on the numbers for Jalen Richard last week. 17 carries, 77 yards.
And their success running the ball in the previous game has to give them a lot of confidence, but they also understand going against a top 5 rush defense means you have to have a lot of offense in your game plan. Misdirection, counters, power game, maybe even some quarterback run to take the heat off of the running back.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 more there and another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get...
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, He's going to take a shot right away. He's got him in. Complete. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They go play action here on first down. And the Raiders have got him. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They go play fake. Mahomes. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point...
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Charkandrick West with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Carr to throw on second down. Open man is Uzama. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Chris Jones on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Carr. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now.
It's caught at the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. This is first and goal from about the 8. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Oh, he had had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Here's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So it's third and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. Shotgun now for Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 14-7. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Mahomes. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. On fourth down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. He's going to find Hill here. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you, I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He's going to get it running right. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Charkandrick West, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point splits the uprights. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's West that finishes it off with a touchdown run. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. A nice little juke. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Going up top. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And the safety, Carl Joseph, there to knock that one away. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes going deep downfield for Roll. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Butker able to put this one. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that. But also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You got an opportunity to catch passes now too.
Yeah, a little bit of a cat and mouse game.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Now Mahomes. Now he'll escape to his left. Finding room inside the 40. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's West. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
On the ground, it's West again. And he's got room. And they move this all the way down to the to 9. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. On the toss, there goes Wentz. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. To him running left, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Carr now on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw is Carr. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 26-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute... offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Get down, get down. 185.
From the gun, Carr. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Justin Houston bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The drive begins with a handoff to West. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run again here with West. Finding some room at midfield. Sharp Kendrick West. And finally marked down at the 23. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Oakland ready to take the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. And he'll get up and spike it with 11 seconds remaining. And no, they can't connect on the pass. So that gets the clock down to 11. Time for probably 2 more plays. Got to go quickly, though.
Now, you lady. Goes up. Goes up.
Back to throw. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for